getting a very rich musical experience, such as would not be available elsewhere. And it's important for their own personal development, important too for the expertise and the level of performance that they themselves then feed back into their county orchestras.
How is the orchestra funded?
Well, the money basically comes from the local authorities themselves. There are youngsters in the orchestra from all 8 of our authorities. Each of them has a fair proportion. And the fees for this course are met by the counties. But the fees are quite heavy, and the counties, of course, like all local authorities, they're finding difficulties in making ends meet, and they're having to cut back on expenditure. And it is important that we don't allow the fees to escalate. Now, in that, the help we've had from BP particularly has been invaluable. In that without that support, the support we've had from them, which amounts to about 1/3 of the income of the orchestra, it would perhaps be impossible to sustain the orchestra, because the fees might have to rise so high that the authorities would not feel able to subvent youngsters to that extent, and it would need only 1 or 2 of the authorities to pull out, and perhaps the whole venture would collapse.
This orchestra has a great reputation, built up over 40 years now, and a lot of it due to the hard work and forbearance, perhaps one ought to say, of Arthur here, whom I've had the pleasure of knowing for many years. So that's all from me, just to say once again, have a jolly good time, and I look forward very much to hearing you and to listen to the fruits of your labours. So now, I'd better do what I've come here to do. Well done. This year, British Petroleum are putting £16,000 into the summer course and performances of the National Youth Orchestra of Wales. And in fact, for the 3rd year, that sum of money has been increased, 3rd year in succession. I wouldn't say that this is an altruistic exercise. We do expect some return, some recognition for having done so. In other words, I don't think any company likes to be ignored for the work which it puts into this kind of activity. But I don't think it goes very far beyond that, but you can call it, if you like, enlightened self-interest.
You have 140 youngsters to look after to get from A to B and to have in the right place at the right time. How do you set about that?
Well, we have a fleet of 3 buses. There are 6 members of house staff in charge of 140 students. There are 3 females and 3 male house staff. They just have the overall responsibility of making sure that everybody is in the right place at the right time to do this.
They're standing by your notice board.
That's right.
Is that how the day breaks down?
Well, during the first week, we have a tutorial week where we have pretty eminent tutors, I'm sure you've been told, from all over the country. They come along, and as you can see, we split the day into tutorial periods and full rehearsals. This is pretty regular for the first week. During the second week, it alters depending on concerts which we'll be giving throughout the Principality.
Any problems amongst all these youngsters?
Oh, there are all kinds of problems, domestic problems which occur, as you can imagine, with a large age range from about 14 up to 21. There are problems with behaviour and this kind of thing, but nothing too serious. No, we're always able to keep it in hand.
This year, I believe you have quite a lot of new people.
Well, actually 55. 55 youngsters out of 140. And I think it's a tremendous surprise to some of them. Many of them may be in their own particular venues quite well up on that particular scale, but I think it's a very daunting experience and a very good one when they come here and find themselves on the national scene rubbing up against other players who are better than themselves very often, having to find their own strengths and weaknesses, and how that they've got to meet the competition, and to then be under the professional cold eyes, although however warm in the heart, of the professionals which we bring with us. As I said before, some of the most outstanding professionals in the profession. And this must have a unique effect upon their future outlook on the music, also on their present techniques.
We've had this problem before. We play the very loud passage, which is fine. Almost too loud, but all right, okay, not too bad. Then we drop down to 40, which is good, but you seem to miss the first note in that. It's a very easy note, isn't it? A D. Everybody can play a D. But just try that. After figure 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th bar, on the nose. That's fine. Now let's do it before figure 1. 2.5 bars, will give you the first beat. Not right, is it? I'm not going to say who does it, because I'm not quite sure, but just think very carefully. When we finish, pop, 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 we've got 1, 2, pom, pom, pom. Yeah? 3 before 1. Yes, that's right. Once more, so just to prove that that wasn't luck. Our next little bit is figure 3. Now this starts with the new tempo. Okay, there's the break. Yes, it's quite good. It's quite good. I think again concentrate very much on the higher notes that tend to go astray. Bop, bop, bom, bom. They're all there. You know what they should be. Do it once more. Let's do it slowly. I'll give you a bar for nothing. 1, 2. Yeah, almost. Interesting, really, because the difficult parts you play perfectly, and then the easier notes in the middle you mess up. It's a question of concentration, not of difficulty, isn't it? Must be that. Let's do this again up to tempo. So I won't give you this break.